So today we've got part 5 of our customization of Earthrise Optimus Prime, aka the final episode. This is Hobbies with Jose. Let's go! Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And here we are once again with another project being finalized. As you can see, I did go ahead and paint in the clear red onto the feet that will simulate the rear lights into truck mode. And I think overall that looks pretty good. And I've also got a coat of gunmetal underneath the front wheel wells that should look a little bit more normal once we put in the wheel on top. So we've got that going as well. But what we're going to do now is add a bit of panel liner to bring out those extra details onto the figure. What I won't be using is the panel liner that I've used in the past by Tamiya. And the reason I'm not using it is because it's enamel. I'm going to switch to an acrylic paint. And the way I'll be doing that is by using a bit of flat black XF1 Tamiya's acrylic paint and just applying plenty of Tamiya's acrylic thinner. So let's get started. So our panel lining is now complete, and we're going to move on to do a little bit of shading using soft pastels. One of the last steps we need to do is to re-add the clear window pieces back onto the piece. And for that, I'll be using a bit of Elmer's glue just to ensure that it dries clear. The good thing is that it's tight enough where even without the glue, there shouldn't be any issues of it falling off. Now the clear blue plastic on the headlights were a bit tricky to work with. You'll remember in episode 1, I only managed to snap off a piece of them because one of the ends was really stuck in there. Well, you can see here I managed to snap off the rest of it, but I did kind of mangle up the edge of the headlights, which doesn't look terrible. But what I ended up doing now was making my own clear pieces off of an old clear sprue from the Enterprise that I worked on prior, and I just put a few coats of clear blue over it. So let's see how good I can get this to fit onto the headlights. I think that looks pretty good. And here we are once again at the final stage. Prime wouldn't be Prime without his Autobot symbol, and I'm thinking that this one here should be a good size to fill in the space here. I'm going to grab my X-Acto knife and cut around the edges just to try to make the white border as even as possible.
Autobots, transform and roll out!
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, I think this has been the most rewarding custom I've done so far. Especially considering that it's the first one I've kept the transformation on too. It had an extra level of complexity as far as trying to figure out what areas are going to be rubbing up against each other in the transformation to try to make sure that the paint wasn't going to scrape off as well. My biggest concern is probably on top of the arms where they get tucked in truck mode. But thankfully the paint hasn't been touched one bit. It remains untouched. In fact, the only paint that got chipped was when I was reassembling the figure, hammering in the pins. I couldn't help it in that point. But just some light touch-ups helped after that. And I certainly don't miss the pegs on the arms. I think they look a lot cleaner without them. I think this definitely earns the title of mini masterpiece in my book. So as far as what comes next, this is the part I normally tell you that we're going to switch back over to a model kit. But why don't we continue the custom train? As far as what it'll be, well, we've got a whole week to find out. So I hope you'll all join me for that next week. But I do thank you for coming along on this journey with me, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care, everyone.